David Duke, top of the arc. Here's Pip, guarded by Gillespie. Steps back, spins, fires! Woo! Pip Gates!
They get another crack. They'll go to their senior. And he lays it in. Two big buckets by Alpha Diallo.
He crushed it. It's a grand slam.
Down by 3. 5 seconds. Reeves for the tie. He got it.
Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Dish Sports. I'm Ben Bellotti with Matt Marasco and Robbie Cannon. Episode number 25 today. Guys, how you doing?
Pretty good. Last night was a great night to be a Boston fan.
Yeah, well,
pretty.
like 2 out of 3, but yeah.
2 out of 3.
All things considered, great night to be a Boston fan.
I mean, do the Red Sox really count anyway?
Yeah,
No.
and we don't expect them to win. And I think last night they held the Yankees to a save situation, so that's a win for this year's Red Sox. So 3 out of 3 Boston teams pull off a win.
Yeah, and the Red Sox are tanking for Trevor Lawrence, so it's fine.
Right.
Listen, he's, just a hell of an athlete.
He is. I'm sure he'd be – I mean, Tom Brady got drafted by the Expos.
True.
Trevor Lawrence should get drafted by the Red Sox.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'd have to tank for him, though.
Well, they are. They just want to make sure. They heard a lot of people on him.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we can't argue with that. But so speaking of MLB and tanking, I guess not tanking, the opposite of tanking. The Padres are not tanking. They're actually playing very well, all things considered. They're a very exciting team. I know I've talked about it a lot. Even if they're not winning, they're still fun to watch. The only thing that kind of is not great is sometimes you're probably not going to win, but they're still fun to watch because they have a lot of fun players. And one of the most exciting players, Fernando Tatis Jr., my absolute guy, hit 2 home runs the other night. 2, not 1 but 2, and one of them was a grand slam. But there was a problem with that home run. I don't think so. The old baseball fans that are the majority of the population think it was a problem. San Diego Padres up by 7 runs against the Texas Rangers. 3-0 pitch, easy meatball pitch to hit. Fernando Tatis, opposite field grand slam. Great moment for Tatis. He instantly becomes the home run leader. But then after the game, Texas Rangers manager Chris Woodward, the press conference, says he's not too happy about it. The unwritten rules of baseball were broken. If it's a 3-0 pitch, you're supposed to take it. That's just absolutely crazy. And everyone that's on the internet is completely just roasting the crap out of him. And it's like, you're wrong. It's insane.
Yeah, it's a terrible take by Woodward. Look, there are plenty of unwritten rules, and I'm kind of an old school guy with most baseball things. I'm not necessarily fully on board with a universal DH, which is a super,
I am now.
Well, yeah,
that's a different talk.
But yeah, again, super old school with mostly unwritten rules. A lot of people are all unwritten rules are dumb. No, they're not all dumb. I like a lot of them. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Look, don't go to 3-0. Tell your pitcher not to go to 3-0 with the bases loaded, and then you won't have to serve up a meatball, right? You already lost the game. And I've seen plenty of guys swing 3-0 in the past. I guess part of it's because the score, but again, in today's, crazy offensive era, even a 7-run lead isn't safe. What are you going to tell him to do? Yeah, you can hit, but you can't.
Yeah, that's a great point.
If he slaps a single the other way, I don't think it's a big deal. Nobody talks about it, but it's because he went yard. It's just a tough.
It's Fernando Tatis Jr. If Jerks and Profar, one of these other guys does it, it's not a big deal. But he's the most relevant guy in baseball right now, or one of them. You brought up a good point about the whole, no lead is safe. And I actually saw a clip with Buck Showalter, former manager of the Orioles, now unemployed manager. But he was yeah, it's not my place. I'm not – if the players aren't complaining about it, I'm not going to complain about it. And then one thing he said that I really liked was in today's – a run's going to score if you throw him a ball. You're going to score a run. The bases are loaded. So him swinging honestly gives you a better chance of getting an out because he could ground out, line out, pop out, a ton of things. He just happened to hit a home run. So unwritten rules or not, he's an old school guy. He's an old guy, and he doesn't have a problem with it because the players don't have a problem with it. And if you look at Twitter, all these players have absolutely no problem with it. A bunch of pitchers were simple solution. throw a better pitch. Yeah, Bauer. So I have Bauer's tweet pulled up right here. He said, "Hey Tatis Jr., listen up. Number 1, keep swinging 3-0 if you want to, no matter what the game situation is. Number 2, keep hitting home runs no matter what the situation is. 3, keep bringing energy and flash to baseball and make it fun. And 4, the only thing you did wrong was apologize. Stop that." I mean, Trevor Bauer, he's all about growing the game right now. He's doing it with his vlogs and Momentum Company. And he knows that Fernando Tatis Jr. pimping home runs, even on a 3-0 count, up 7 whatever runs, it's good for the game. It's growing the game. And that's the most important thing. So the unwritten rules are out the window. And unwritten rules are meant to be broken.
Listen, Tatis is a young, energetic, flashy guy who is going to grow the game. And the thing is, too, I don't even mind, like, if a guy pimps a home run and then somebody throws at him, like, I don't care. Like, that's an unwritten rule that
as long as it's not at his head.
As long as it's not at his head, go hit him between the shoulder blades. I don't care. But what I will say, he didn't even pimp it. The issue is that he swung at a pitch, and this again.
In opposite field, it was a very impressive home run. Opposite field line drive.
Yeah, and the thing is too, like, now I'm trying to think back and like think about like other big home runs that I've seen hit. I know I've seen people swing 3-0 before, and I've never heard this come up.
I think it's just the fact that, like the Rangers are really bad right now. Like, even though a 7-run lead is never safe anymore. I mean, look, the A's scored 9 runs against the Giants, but they're the Rangers. They're not that great. You're up by 7, and it was like late innings. Like, you're not gonna do anything. So I guess that was the only thing. But I mean, no one really agrees with it except for guys 65 plus.
Yeah, I don't know. There are some things that I have a problem with. That's not one. Don't go 3. If you don't want people swinging 3-0, don't go 3-0.
Yeah, I tweeted out something. It doesn't get that much attention, but I thought it was a great tweet. It was unwritten rules of baseball that aren't dumb. Number 1, don't step on the foul line. For me, it's the most important one. Number 2, if you're going to hit a guy, don't throw at his head. And those are the only 2 rules I thought that aren't dumb. There's probably more, but those are the ones that I think are most important and could only think of. And then unwritten rules that are dumb, only one under there. Take a 3-0 pitch and not hit a grand slam.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's simple.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys feel so strongly about this, I mean, just imagine. I can't even like wrap my head around the fact that like they would say like you're not.
Also, let's bring up that Rob, you are not nearly as into baseball as Matt and I are. Just hearing about this topic, do you think it's a big deal at all?
No, I think it's a big deal that I'm even talking about it right now. Like, exactly. It's absolutely atrocious that someone would say that.
Right.
Like, and it's not like it's at first I was like trying to make sense of it because I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Like, so I was like, is it like taking a knee in the NFL? And I was like, no. And then I was like, is it like dribbling out the clock in a basketball game? I was like, no, like literally no. It doesn't make any sense to me at all, to be honest. Like,
it's one of the rules that I've heard like once or twice playing baseball growing up, but never really has been a problem. Like the ones, like if you're like going to mercy a team, just like keep it like 1 run ahead of what the mercy is. Don't tack them on. But like MLB doesn't have a mercy. And like Matt was saying, a lead's never safe. And honestly, the thing that's most important now, I feel like, is now more than ever, personal stats matter. So why would you take a bat away? Why would you take a pitch off ever? Because your team or whatever team if you're going into arbitration, your team's going to be like, well, you see this pitch, you could have done so much damage and you didn't do anything. And that's an arbitration, or if you're a free agent, it's going to be the same conversation with a different team. So aside from unwritten rules or just competition, for your personal benefit, you'd never take a pitch off.
Yeah, and I think that running up the score stuff, like you said, Benny, I think a lot of that comes in at younger levels, right? So
yeah,
you're up big on a team in, a JV high school game. Even if you put a ball in the gap, you're going 1 base at a time, right? You're no longer trying to get extra base hits. You're no longer going first to third. You're going to go boom, 1 base, right. Keep the line moving. And that's fine because, again, 1, there's a mercy rule. 2, it's young kids. You're not professionals. They're, you want to kind of keep it somewhat fun. You don't want to run up the score. In Major League Baseball, don't suck. That's what I would say to that. Don't suck.
Yeah.
then you don't have to worry about the score
better.
getting run up. Don't go 3-0 and then have to groove him one that he can crush.
One of my favorite things I saw from another pitcher was like, you don't want to give up a 3-0 grand slam, throw a strike the first pitch or something like that.
Yeah. Most important pitch in baseball is strike one.
Exactly. So going along, I mean, also, this is just a new age of baseball. The young guys are coming in. They're having fun. Everyone's having fun watching it. There's never been more Twitter highlights or Instagram highlights. I've never seen it. And it might just because everything's exciting with 60 games. But I think it's just because there's so many young guys all at once that are so exciting and energetic. And people that even don't normally watch baseball will take 10, 15 seconds to watch a guy pimp a home run because it's exciting and fun. And what else is also exciting and fun is Fernando Tatis stealing third base when their team's winning 6-0, which prompts the San Diego Padres to tweet out "rewritten" with the clip. So he's doing exciting things no matter what. The young guy he also respects the game. He brought it up in his press conference. So if you can have fun and respect the game to an extent, I mean, like, I don't have a problem with it. But all this is doing is creating better publicity for Fernando Tatis Jr., really.
Can I come in with an unpopular take here?
Yeah.
I think taking third up 6-0 is a little iffy.
No, okay, I agree, but it was in the fourth inning.
Okay.
And a couple innings later, instead of 6-0, the game was 6-4. So you can make the argument that, it could have this. So I don't think if it was like that ninth inning, then yeah, that'd be bad.
Let me put it this way. It's more iffy than the 3-0. Because even
100%.
When I've heard the don't swing on 3-0, I always just looked at it from the perspective of like, I'm up 3-0 in a count. I don't want to chase a bad pitch right now. Like, I always thought that you were told don't swing 3-0 because it would benefit the offense because you don't want to chase a pitch that's out of the zone. The guy just threw three balls. He has to come back to you 3 times. And the odds of you getting a hit versus the odds of you drawing a walk once it's already 3-0, the odds of him throwing 3 consecutive strikes and getting you out are so low. That's why I always thought you would take 3-0. I never thought that was like a disrespect thing to go swing away 3-0. I thought it was just, your best chances of getting on base when you're 3-0 are probably drawing a walk.
Yeah, and I think people our age see it that way, and even people a little bit older than us. And we all are in the same boat. There's nothing wrong with it. And like I said, it's all about growing the game and benefiting yourself. And like I really do think it's going to benefit Tatis, and it's going to change the game for the better. That bringing all this conversation up because every single baseball podcast, baseball radio show is talking about it. It's mostly just like the older announcers that are disputing it, just because mainly they don't want to cause controversy, I think. But it's like I said, it's doing a lot for Fernando Tatis, which brings up the question: who's the face of baseball right now? Who's the face of the MLB? When you think of MLB, who are you thinking of?
I'll start. I'm thinking of Mookie, to be honest.
I like that.
And part of that is the Boston tie that I have, and that he was the face of the Red Sox for X amount of years. But I mean, honestly, yeah, he's him and probably Trout, even though he's not the most flashy I guess the word you describe him as is boring. Like when he's not on the baseball field,
even to an extent, Mookie's kind of like. He doesn't show that much of a personality. Like outside of playing baseball, he just
but he bowls and stuff.
No, but that's all he does. He doesn't like talk about bowling. Like the only reason we know it is because ESPN or MLB Network is like, hey, look, Mookie Betts also bowls. It's not like Mookie Betts is like, I'm so dope, I bowl 300. He doesn't do that. But I like. Yeah, no. I think
I'd go Mookie.
I like that because when I think of MLB, I think of Trout. Just because he's the best player of the game. But I'm also someone who watches as much baseball as possible, and I just know Trout. When I think of excitement and when, like, I'm going to suggest to an outside baseball fan, I'm thinking of 2 guys. One, you can guess who I'm going to say. I talk about him all the time. Fernando Tatis Jr., of course. Electric, pimps home runs, fun, young, going to be around forever, probably is going to win the MVP. Either this year or within like 3 years. But the second guy I think of is Trevor Bauer, which is weird because he's been up and down with, the way people look at him and his performance. But I think he has the potential to be the face, and even could be the face right now because of all the content he's pushing out. And if you are actual, invested very deeply baseball fan and watches content, it's like, whoa, this guy's really growing the game, and he's having fun doing it. He's showing the clubhouse fun. And he's doing Conor McGregor K-struts after he straight.
I want to hear what Matt has to say about this so bad.
Conor McGregor K-struts.
Yeah, I mean, look. I think
my real answer is Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now Trout. So it's kind of funny because you say the face of baseball. If you were to say the name of baseball, I think everybody would say Mike Trout.
Yeah.
If you say the face of baseball, I don't think you can because he is white bread. He is just the most boring person. And again, no fault to him. He wants to go about his business, do what you want to do.
And honestly, I think that's good for him. I think if Mike Trout was flashy and everything, like people would look at him weird. I mean,
I think he could grow the heck out of this game if he was, though. If he had any personality at all, or if his team didn't suck, if he wasn't just who on the East Coast up until this year, nobody even watched a game. I've seen a half dozen Mike Trout at bats, and I'm the biggest baseball fan I know. But if you say face, I give you Tatis. I love that. I think for a while, they should have pushed Lindor.
I agree.
Because Lindor could have been a sick face of the game.
Yeah.
I think that Judge, I hate to say it, kind of up there, especially
he
on
has
the
to
East
stay
Coast.
healthy though. If Judge can play over 145 games every year, then there's no doubt in my mind that he will be the face of baseball because he's literally larger than life. The dude's like almost 7 foot tall, like 250 of muscle, and he just does things that normal baseball players can't do. But he can't stay healthy. He's like Zion in the way they talk about him. The dude plays. He's just not playing like.
I've got a question for you guys. So, because when you say the face of baseball, you're thinking more of like you guys don't like see a face of baseball because you guys are like so in tune with it and stuff. You see a bunch of people. But one guy that comes to mind who I think is just I would turn on a Cubs game to watch this dude. Javi Baez is the man.
That's good. See,
he's the man.
See that's a great. That's actually. He's swaggy. He's defensive wizard, pimping home runs. So the way I think of it and like think of what I describe a face of baseball as is when you think of like old school MLB, there's not a doubt in my mind that most people are thinking of Ken Griffey Jr. And if you look at even his own team, Ken Griffey Jr. was not the best player in the league at that time, but everyone knew him. He was big, if not bigger at times than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was asking him for his autograph when he played baseball, but he wasn't the best. So the face of baseball doesn't have to be the best player. But, I mean, it helps if it does. But
yeah, I think you're in such an era where it's such a stat-driven era where a lot of times it's going to be like, oh, whoever leads the league in WAR is going to be the face of baseball. And whatever you think about wins above replacement, like, it's just that's just what, especially old heads, not I don't even want to say old heads, but like, that's what, the media, they eat that stuff up.
Yeah, it's also I like stats. I don't invest everything into them, but I think in a lot of ways, I don't know about I think WAR is a good summary. I don't think everything should be weighted on WAR, but like a lot of defensive metrics are pretty sweet and have led to StatCast and stuff that and ultimately baseball fans, if they learn about it will help grow the game. So
yeah. The one thing that I will say to your Bauer point, because I actually forgot to mention this, I love the take is obviously we are both Carabas guys, and he's a big and Bauer's a big Carabas guy, and they have a great relationship. He's just too controversial to be the face of baseball.
No,
it's one thing to have
I think if he was a little tamer,
you have to be a lot tamer and a lot it's one thing to have Javi Baez, who's flashing, you're going to have a segment of the baseball population that's no, don't bat flip. Look at the guy when you're tagging him. Don't, just go about your business. But I think that he's still, I don't want to say quiet, but he's still, he's not, done things that are, quote, unquote, bad. Bauer has done things, I don't want to say bad, but he's done things that are.
He's been unlikable.
He's very unlikable. He can be so unlikable.
He's like the guy that if he's on your team, you're rooting for him. And he's honestly – he really this year and the year when he got traded to Cincinnati, he really did tame it in and kind of realized guys don't really like me right now. I want to be likable. If you watch his vlogs, all his teammates seem to love him, and no one really Twitter loves him now too. He's doing case struts like Conor McGregor, like I said. But yeah, I agree. I think he is too controversial to be the face. I mean, my answer, hands down, is Fernando Tatis Jr., and I think he's going to be the definite face of baseball in the years to come.
Yeah, I think what will help Bauer become more of a face of baseball is when he moves inevitably to a big East Coast market, to a team that really needs some pitching.
That could also help make it worse if like he's in like a place like Boston or
I mean, that's where he's going to be. I was hinting at the fact that he's going to sign with the Red Sox. He has to. We have to sign him.
The media could if he goes into the media, if he like gives into them, it's going to be terrible for him because
I think he knows enough.
Honestly, it might drive him and his success, but the media is going to hate him. That's for.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't wait till he signs with the Red Sox because we need a real pitcher.
Yeah, well, yeah,
yeah.
That's all I got on MLB. Aside from Mike Trout getting thrown at twice today in the back of his head, behind his head, and he was not happy. But Gabe Kapler, the manager of the Giants, who the team threw at him, said it was nothing. But I mean, just don't. Come on, you got to have better control than that. That's really all I got to say to that. Don't ever go to a guy's head, especially Trout.
Kapler's in Minnesota, isn't it? Madden?
No, Kapler's not in Minnesota.
Who's Minnesota's manager then?
Rocco Baldelli, our guy.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I got him confused. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
But that's all I got on the MLB. And I know Robbie doesn't have anything to say on the MLB. I know both of you guys are itching to talk about the NBA. So let's get right into it.
Oh, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not to bash the MLB or anything, but we go from a sport looking for a face of the sport to a sport with just faces everywhere. I mean, when I think of the NBA, I'm thinking of a different face every time right now.
That's interesting. Who do you think? Because there can only be one. And honestly, I know a lot of people would probably say LeBron, but I don't think he's the face right now.
He's a bum.
Yeah, but I think he is, dude. When you
think so.
Basketball, like the average, he is so famous, like worldwide. Just aside from I think he's a mega star. I think
like,
Giannis.
When you think of basketball, obviously you think of LeBron, but like if I really like, I don't want to LeBron's exciting to watch because he's so dominant. But if I really want like an entertaining player, like LeBron's not my first choice.
No, there's so many. I think you could make an argument for Giannis to be the face of the NBA.
I'd take James Harden or Giannis. I think Giannis is the face of the NBA right now, but I
agree.
I'd watch James Harden game.
I also think pre-injury, I think Steph is right up there too.
Yeah, I agree.
But obviously, he missed this whole season, and they were the worst team in the league because he missed the whole season. and Clay missed it. But
I mean, LeBron's
I think that you can make an argument for him too.
Yeah.
Kawhi too.
You're right. There's
so many personalities.
There's so many personalities,
and they're all different, which is the best thing about the NBA. They're all. The
NBA
different.
is better than any sport at marketing their players, and I mean it helps that a lot of their guys are pretty outspoken, and most of them aren't that controversial at all. A lot of them are just saying things because they think they're funny or just because that's just what they do. But
yeah. All right, you guys want to jump into some of these NBA topics because there's so much to talk about from the bubble.
The one I was just gonna say though is that Benny, you talked about how they do a good job marketing their stars. The game lends itself more to that than like baseball, right? Baseball is the quintessential team game. You have 9 guys out there. You need 9 guys to win. The NBA, you can clear it out for one guy. I mean, I think the perfect example is 2016 Cavs with LeBron. He took a team of scrubs to the NBA Finals. It's such an individualized game where you can just run ISOs for yourself. You mentioned James Harden, the perfect example of that I think that then the game itself, you can play hero ball. That's a thing. So it lends itself well to marketing stars.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing is, like in MLB, I think it also helps that there's less guys in the league. In the MLB, you got almost as many guys on the field on the MLB at once as there are guys on one NBA team. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
So that makes guys a little more recognizable too. But yeah, let's hop in. So let's start with the Suns. We talked about it a little bit last year.
You brought up guys on an MLB field. That's close. There's 9 guys on the field. That's close to how many games the Suns won in the bubble. 8. They won 8.
Good transition there.
Thank you.
Good transition. 8-0, and guess what they're doing right now? The same thing that you and I are doing.
Sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Why invite them? To be honest, I know they could have made it, but if you go 8-0, like I don't know.
At least
I
let
don't
them
know.
play in the playing game or something.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me. That's for damn sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
they were
I'm-
fun to watch. I didn't watch like every game, but I watched like highlights, and I flipped through the TV, and if they were on, I'd like put them on. They were fun to watch. Devin Booker just played amazing. I mean, they were just playing like a great team. It was not what they were playing like before.
Yeah, I mean they're the best story of the bubble, and I agree. I mean, you got to have some sort of stipulation in there. If you go 8-0, you're guaranteed to get into a playing game or something like that. I get why they couldn't. I mean, it just came down to tiebreakers. I also get why they had to invite them, even though they could go 8-0 and not win and not get in. Just because you're a Grizzlies losing to the Bucks away from them getting in. So you have to invite them, but some sort of something in there to get that. Because again, like I said, they're the best story of the bubble. Everybody was rooting for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
The Suns might sell 8-0 merch.
Dude, the Suns, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Suns social media team, I mean, fantastic. They were like, I forget like some of the stuff they were tweeting, but man, it was good. They were like almost like a satire account for a little bit there. It was great.
It also helped that like all of social media was rooting for the Suns, like Matt said.
Yeah, I mean, what a great story. Everybody in the country fell in love with the Suns, and I think they're going to carry this over into next year. And
I hope so.
I don't think it's too far-fetched to say they're going to be a playoff team next year.
I agree 100%. With Booker is so good, man. Like
He's
I
unbelievable.
agree 100%.
He also I don't obviously I don't watch basketball as much as you guys, but I mean when I watch him or his highlights, I feel like he just has it. Like when he shoots and he makes it, like he like has like the same like it factor that like Fernando Tatis Jr. does for me. Like I like he's exciting. Like he has like the swagger, but he like doesn't have to like show it. Like he just has it.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. That is actually a good analogy there. Big time. He just you're right. Like he's almost like a silent assassin in a way.
Yeah,
like
he's like perfect analogy, and he's like Xander Bogaerts. We were talking about before the show starts. He's not outspoken. He doesn't like do swaggy things, but you just know he's swaggy and he's dope, and like he just has it. That's
he lets his play talk. He lets his play talk.
Exactly, but his play is swag, and you know he's got it.
Yeah.
But
you want to know? So you guys want to talk about another player who's got absolute swagger?
Let me guess what you're gonna say.
Oh.
Jaylen Brown.
Another silent assassin.
He is. But I was gonna go with Tatum, and then I was gonna go with Jaylen, and then I was gonna go with Kemba. And so I don't know. All the Celtics, are we all silent assassins?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I love it.
Yeah. So last night the C's played Game 1, and did you guys watch it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I mean, boy, did we look good. Everything was clicking. Everyone looked good except Cantor. Don't get me going on Cantor. Get him off the basketball court. But everyone played well, and then of course we were led by JB and JT again, Tatum and Brown. Just if you're a Celtics fan and like you didn't just smile the whole game watching the two of them, like they're so good together. JB has become such a good catch and shoot shooter himself. Like it's almost automatic at this point.
Let me say one thing I didn't like though, and he didn't play bad, but Marcus Smart was taking a lot of like shots that just absolutely airballed when he did not need to be taking them.
I will have no Marcus Smart slander on this. No,
I love Marcus.
No wrong.
I love Marcus.
No wrong. He is the single most valuable player on the Boston Celtics right now. This is a team that for so long had no talent and won on pure grit alone, and he's the foundation, the cornerstone of that. He's helped create a defensive culture in Boston that is unlike anything else in the league. He can take all the bad shots he wants as long as he continues to dig hard when they try to go into the post and on beat and draw steals. How many times did he do that? And you could see the difference between him and Tatum. Tatum would dig on the post or half dig, and he would fake at it and not fully commit, and Embiid would go and score. And then when Smart would dig, turnovers almost every time. He was unbelievable.
Yeah. His defensive game is amazing, but if it's that good, why go take a shot when Kemba or Jaylen Brown are on fire and everything they touch is going in the net. Why not give it up to them when you know you're just going to airball?
Be honest, I don't mind him shooting. You like when he sometimes I know what you're saying. He gets a little too like
He gets a little
he
triggered.
thinks he's one of those elite offensive players. But I have no problem with him shooting.
I mean, when he's
Catch and
good,
shoot threes
looks
in the
good.
rhythm of the offense.
Like when he makes it, it looks good. I'll give him that.
I also
Yeah.
feel like he gets stuck, and I feel bad for him. It seems like whenever it's like 2 seconds left on a shot clock and like somebody's just got to heave one up, it's always Marcus Smart who has the ball in his hands. Like a disproportionate amount of the time.
Yeah, but he doesn't even care about that. Like you were saying, he just wants to play defense, and I love it so much. He's unbelievable. But the one bad thing that we took away from last night was we lost Gordon Hayward for
way
4
longer
weeks.
than I expected. 4 weeks. Yeah.
Weren't Robbie, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. Wasn't he going to leave the bubble anyway because he had a child on the way?
Yeah, and so initially I was like, damn, like we were probably gonna lose him for like a week, like because it looked serious, but like we've all done that. We've all twisted the ankle, sprained it.
He also just said it was a sprained ankle. They didn't say.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, initially I was like, dang, like we're gonna lose him for a week or two, and then like right around then, I'm pretty sure is when his son or daughter is due, and I was like, so now you add another week. But my hope is that in these 4 weeks his child is born, so that it's over with, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Back.
Honestly, a big loss. He was playing really well in the bubble.
Huge loss. He was doing all the little things. He was catching, shooting, spacing the floor. He was rebounding well.
His rebounds were looking good.
Hurts. It definitely hurts.
Now you're going to have Marcus Smart step up more on offense.
That's true.
I expect to see Marcus starting next game.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the Celtics were really fun to watch aside from watching Gordon get hurt. And like, you know, I just hated on Marcus Smart, which you guys just grilled me for, and I'll take it. He was still fun to watch. They were all fun to watch. It was a great game to watch. There was a couple times when I was like holding my breath, like, oh, this is a lot closer than I want it to be. But
late, yeah.
But yeah, especially late. But hey, we looked great. So
yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with how we looked. What were you gonna say, Matt?
Oh no, I'm happy with how he looked too. I was just gonna say Jaylen Brown when it's winning time, 15 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
he's the guy. And I forgot what game I was watching. I was watching one of the round robin games that they had earlier, and it was the same thing in the fourth quarter. He just didn't miss. I mean, he stays in the offense. I've said it 1,000 times. Just feed Jaylen the ball. Between him and Tatum, I would like to see Kemba score more. I think to continue to advance in these playoffs, it's one thing to beat a Sixers team without Ben Simmons. But Robbie, are you worried about looking at our road ahead? We're to get to the NBA Finals, we're gonna have to play 3 teams with the Sixers, and then probably Toronto, and then probably Milwaukee. 3 teams with very good bigs. Are you worried about that? Because that's certainly a weakness for us. We no longer have that guy that can guard the big that we used to have in Horford.
Yeah, no, I see it. But then again, defensively, we're so sound that I think that even we showed it last night against Embiid, and the Sixers made some really tough shots. By the way, there were a lot of possessions where I was like, wow, like we couldn't have defended any better, and they still found a way to get one there. But I think that even if we have to help down, whether it's Marcus or whatnot, the way that we can scramble, I think we'll be okay. And I like Robert Williams to be able to play against some of the other bigs, but not Embiid. Embiid's too strong for him. But if he runs into, I don't know, Marcus All, like I think he could bang with Marcus All, no problem. And he can outjump anyone. That's not a problem.
Yeah, I mean the way I look at it though is I think he's just so athletic, but he's so dumb, and I just
so dumb.
he's just. I mean, the Time Lord, because he's always late. Like, even last night he had a foul where it's like the guy's like shooting a lap and he just whacks him with one hand. It's like, what were you just let him go?
On the reverse layup there, yeah. Oh yeah.
But the thing that worries me is Al was so good at like stretch fours. He could step outside and guard him outside, or he could guard him down low. And I just don't know. Like, I'm even less worried about Embiid because even Tatis, like you saw, like he doesn't match up great, but he matches up well enough because he can bang down low with him. Like, I don't want Tice guarding Giannis on the perimeter, and I don't know who we have that I want to go out there and guard Giannis.
I miss Al on the Celtics.
I mean, so I think I'm not. No one can guard Giannis. So that's just like a fact. But who can limit Giannis?
Yeah.
I would say that we actually have. I think we have a guy who can. Of all guys in the league, I think Semi Ojeleye is one of the better guys. Who's just offensively, like,
I don't even know who that is.
just not good
Semi
offensively.
You know him because he's the guy who everybody thought he paralyzed Kemba Walker when Kemba ran into him.
That's right.
Yeah. But I don't know. He's not good offensively. But he's gonna play if we play the Bucks. Like, that's a fact because he and JB. He's not as strong, but he's willing to dig in, and he's a good defender.
In my eyes, Jaylen Brown can do
JB's
everything.
given like 3-4 inches there though.
No, but
I know, but the way Giannis has been playing, he hasn't been posting up. He's been just trying to get downhill on
he's been headbutting
from the top of the key.
He has been headbutting. Good
Headbutting.
point.
How
I
did
know
you
it, I
defend
know.
that?
His Bucks, by the way, got blown out. Again, I shouldn't be talking about things today because you're not going to see it today. But Game 1 got crushed by the Magic.
Well, if it already happened, it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got
yeah.
crushed by the Magic.
Crushed. So surprising.
Did Giannis play in that game, or was he still suspended?
The Red Sox are trying to blow it. I can tell you right now. Oh, my other pick. We didn't get to this, but my other hot take is looking real good right now.
What's that?
You want me to? Should I say it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Should we tease it? Make people keep listening.
No, I need to know now because now you're teasing me.
I love Blazers over the Lakers. The Lakers have looked so bad in the bubble, and Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum have looked so good. At the very least, it's going to be a series. I don't necessarily want to say. I don't want to say Blazers are going to win it. I would not be shocked. I know LeBron doesn't lose in the first round, but Lillard and McCollum are playing out of their minds, and they are up by 13 right now.
Hold on. So,
Wait, they are.
Ben, we're good with Celtics talk, right? Can we move on to
We hit everything.
Lillard was next up on the list anyway.
Oh, perfect. Look at that. I'm not even looking at the outline, but I just psychologically. Giannis did play, by the way.
Yeah, I thought he did. Which is not a good sign, but I think they'll win. They're not going to lose the series. To the Magic. That's
Giannis was just rusty, so he'll be back.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
be mad if they lost.
Matt, your hot take though? No, that'd be great if the Magic beat them. That'd make everybody's road so much easier.
I don't think it's that hot of a take.
What? I don't either, dude. No one likes Damian Lillard more than me. Like the way that your heart gets warm, Ben, when you're talking about Fernando Tatis. Like my heart, like I get the chills. Like it's like I'm talking to like a really pretty girl or something. And like I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous talking about Damian Lillard right now. Like,
That's great. Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. He had Corona, right?
who, Lillard?
Yeah.
No, Donovan Mitchell had it. But he's we'll talk about him
Yeah,
too.
I knew it was one of the guys you were supposed to talk about.
But Lillard, dude, he is so he misses like a couple of games ago. It was a kind of meaningless game. Well, not really for them because they're trying to get into the playoffs. But he misses a pair of free throws to lose the game, like at the end. Which for a guy like that, like you can see missing one of the two, but to miss 0 for 2, that's tough. In the next like 4 games, he averaged like 55 points. And
150 plus points in 3 games.
yeah, he's the baddest dude in the league right now. And I wouldn't be surprised at all, Matt, if they beat the Lakers and honestly then go on to do damage. If they beat the Lakers, I could see them making the finals easily and potentially winning it.
Not to steal the words right out of part of my take's mouth, but Carmelo Anthony is a great bubble atmosphere player. When he's
Dude, he is Slim Mellow. You see on Twitter all the time. You see him in those like gyms doing pickup hoops. He's built for this.
The Olympics, the practice videos, all confined. So
Yeah, he's built.
Yeah.
wait, speaking of all this isn't related to like players. It's just something so the arenas. I got really excited, you know. I hate the fans. The fans look so stupid because they're huge. They're like the size of me. They're the size of like us three. Like this is just what's on the screen. But what's sick is when one of the teams scores and they shut off the fans and they do like the sick like fire effects like with the Celtics and the green lightning and stuff. Like oh my god.
Yeah.
that should be at every NBA game. I don't know how they can do it, but like when fans are back, they need to like drop like a curtain and like do that.
I love where your head's at. No, I mean, yeah, the virtual fans, it ain't it. Just get rid of them completely.
Real bad.
They're huge.
and,
Deuce was like 6 feet tall.
and like not only that, they're all different size of big. Like someone's like extra big, and then the next person's only big. It's like get a little consistency to it.
They're also like normal. Like obviously you're gonna get like chirping with like real fans, but these fans are obnoxious 100% of the time. Like you can't hear them, but I just hate looking at them.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I like looking at Dame.
Yeah, way to bring it back.
Yeah.
No, Dame's nasty. And I think, he and McCollum both, well, one is Weber State, one is, I want to say Lehigh.
Lehigh.
They're used to playing in small gyms. They're used to not playing in front of big crowds.
If the Lakers do lose, there's no doubt in my mind that the Clippers are winning.
No, why just you're just gonna write off the Blazers after they trounce the Lakers? Come on.
Like, I feel like right now the Blazers are more on the same level as the Clippers than the Lakers are.
Okay. But you're putting the Clippers pretty high up on tier 1. As like
I think they're
so deep.
by far.
And the Clippers have the defensive guys to shut down Lillard and McCollum. They have the best perimeter defenders outside of Marcus Smart in basketball. And
Pat Beverly's the most overrated dude. Lillard will give him a 50-piece.
He's a dog. Pat Bev's a dog.
No, Lillard will give him a 50-piece. He's too small. He's not quick enough. That'll be a joke.
Aggressive.
AYD.
He's aggressive.
That'll be a joke.
And
Lillard, I don't know. We'll see. Where I think the Blazers would struggle against the Clippers is defensively, because like they're playing like Gary. So either Gary Trent or McCollum would have to cover either Paul George or Kawhi, and that's a mismatch right there. Either one, whichever way that goes.
The Clippers are just too good. That's the way I see it.
They're so
I
deep.
kind of agree.
They're deep. They're insanely deep, and even like the bench players are good.
Harrell.
Yeah,
he's a beast. But I mean, did you guys catch that was a later game last night? But they beat the Mavs pretty good last night. And
So I switched over after the Celtics, and I watched the Bruins.
Okay. Is that what you did, Matt?
I watched the Bruins, but then I watched the end. I just watched sports all night because I haven't in so long. And I think the ejection was one of the worst things I've ever – how he got teed up for that reaction is beyond me. I should have been thrown out of every game I played in. If that's – like, that first – did you see it, Robbie?
Yeah, I did. I agree with you. It was
come on. He goes, come on. I do that. Yeah. Benny, I do that in our softball. Like, well, you cannot tee him up for that. I know that punching the air is an automatic tech. I understand that. Have a little tiny bit of sense of the moment.
Wait, is it really?
Never been in the playoffs, huh?
Is that really an automatic tech?
It's technically supposed to be an automatic tech. If you react to a bad call by going like that or waving off a ref, it's technically supposed to be an automatic tech. But you see guys do that every game and not get teed up. And now you're in game 1 in a close game. Kid's in his first playoff game, and it's just – granted, he shouldn't have picked up the second one. That was all him, and, like, he deserved a tech there. But –
wait, why is that a tech? That's just all emotion.
You're not supposed to
it's more like if you do it in toward the ref. Like,
yeah.
So what if I do it towards the virtual fans?
Oh, then you should be good. For the most part, you should be good. Unless you really get on the refs' nerves. Yeah. But, yeah, I agree. It wasn't great. But how about Luka? Luka had 11 turnovers or something. Yeah, but dude, I'm not a big Luka fan, so I focus on the negative with Luka. He had 11 turnovers. That makes my heart happy. That makes me happy. Him. I don't really like him. I mean, he did have 42 points, so I'm just gonna ignore that. But no, he played. He's so good. I think the Clippers are gonna take care of him though. Like Ben was saying, they're too much. They're too good.
They're my favorites by far.
I think the only way that they wouldn't have taken care of him is if the Mavs somehow found a way to win game 1 and then just kind of get in there. You know what I mean? Get a little bit of momentum.
Yeah. You put them on their heels a little bit.
I think game one was their best punch. You know,
Kawhi has championship experience too, and can't argue with this one. He's a robot.
Yeah. I mean, we're starting to run late here in the show. We'll try. You guys want to transition this over to our last couple of topics and Justin Fields and then the Bruins and get out of here?
Yeah, sure. we'll hit on. So I didn't hear about this Justin Fields news regarding NCAA football. So
Ben, you want to lay it out for Ben?
Yeah, basically he's just petitioning to play. He wants to play the game. He said, "Look, they're playing. I want to play."
So like, how is he petitioning?
He's just a petition to, I guess.
Yeah,
on like change.org or something.
Exactly.
What's that gonna do?
Nothing.
I don't know, but I signed it, and when I signed it, it had 225,000 signatures. So like, we're trending.
Where do I find this thing?
I just Googled it because, well, yeah, I mean, I just Googled it. I clicked the link, and then I typed in my name. It asked me if I wanted to donate. I didn't want to donate.
When I type in Justin Fields, it's the first thing that pops up. It's we want to play on move on. Move on.
Move on. Yeah, whatever.
That's a lot of information for a petition. Whoa, this is crazy. College football gets so many viewers, but he only wants 300,000 signatures.
Yeah, I guess. You know, this was I was wondering this myself. This is a question.
That's like, that's way too low.
No, how many is he at right now? Give us a live update.
He's almost there. Right now he's at 276,764 signatures out of 300,000. He's gonna hit it tonight.
I hope so. Although I signed it yesterday and it was at like 222. So maybe not.
I don't know, but I know we talked about it. I'm all for the players playing, and I'm even more on it after listening to more sports radio. I don't like the fact that they're going to be playing football if they play in the spring so close to each season without stopping. And I really do think that the players are ultimately going to end up being safer, at least COVID-wise, if they do play the season in the fall.
Sure, but then they're just going to not be safe in the spring.
But you don't – well, see –
but things should be better in the spring, like that, and that's not even like wishful thinking. Like I actually think that like the pandemic will be way more under control by then.
Yeah,
anyway.
And arguably, if they play, they're more under control than if they aren't, because like they're gonna be going to parties or doing stuff or just like sneaking out. Like schools have already been shut down, and football players have been included in the list of people who have gotten COVID. So if they were focused on grinding for the games and being confined to a dorm room or a hotel room and like strictly supervised on it, then they wouldn't be getting it. That's way less people on a college campus getting COVID.
I'm still selfishly, I want spring football. I think you have a more normal season in the spring, and I think you have a better chance. I listened to a thing with Kirk Herbstreit from today. He doesn't think there's going to be any football.
So I don't
like the sound of that.
This might just be a terrible question, but if it is spring football, and is Trevor Lawrence, would he even play?
I think he would. I think if they push the draft back, I think he would play.
But if they don't push the draft back,
no shot. I don't. To be honest, I think even in a spring season, I don't know that he plays. To be honest,
it's too.
Even if they move the draft back.
But he's a huge guy that is like out there saying like, I want to play no matter what.
Yeah, I think he would play. I mean, how much? He's no more or less likely to get hurt playing in the spring than he is in the fall.
No, I know, but it's that much closer to the draft if they don't move it. And, all these guys have their advisors, otherwise known as agents, that are going to be pushing them not to play because, the money, if they get hurt, the money goes way down.
Yeah, but if they get hurt in the fall, it goes down too. Look, I'm team spring football. I think that's what's going to happen. You already saw, look, how UNC Chapel Hill is in the obviously they're in the ACC. They've been there for 2 days. They've had 2 or 3 days of classes, and they're already going remote. How can you justify, and again, I'm saying this for purely selfish reasons because I want to be able to tailgate. How can you justify having players play when you can't have kids go to class?
The only justification
because
they're actually they can be supervised way more and have way better facilities than anyone else.
And genuinely, I think that they like the players want to play. Like those college
also,
kids all want to play. So it's not like you're putting them in a position where it's like, well, hey, you're gonna have to choose between your spot on this team and your scholarship or playing.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like they're all pushing so hard to be able to play. And that's where it's like, if they want to, let them.
let the kids play.
I agree.
But I don't know.
I agree.
I think it's either I've changed my mind actually. I know before I said it was spring or nothing. My mind right now is at play in the fall or you're not playing at all, and that rhymes.
My mind is still at just all play at the same time. I don't want the Big Ten saying they're playing in the spring while the ACC.
You can't play. You can't play at different times.
Yeah, because then you're not going to get a national championship.
I think what's going to happen. I really think what's going to happen, and I don't know how it's going to happen, but I think all the teams that want to play are going to form their own league, like somehow their own conference, and they're just going to play in like a bubble atmosphere because classes are all going to be online anyway. So if the classes are online, the kids can do it from anywhere, and they don't go to class anyway.
You run the risk there. Oh, that's a very short-sighted thing. If I'm Nebraska and they were one of the two that voted to play, and I'm like, screw you, Big Ten, I'm going to go play. They're going to be like, that's fine. Have fun trying to find a new conference. And they're not like you can't if you want everybody to play at the same time, you're rooting for spring football because there's no way conferences are going to be like, it's not safe. Just kidding. It shut down everything and then try to start it up again. You can't start it up again. Once it's shut down, you can't start it up again until the spring. If you want everybody playing together, you like that would be awful PR. They're like, oh shit, like no other conference is canceled. All right, I guess we'll play even though we already deemed it unsafe. You can't undeem it unsafe.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, I mean this isn't even sports related. It's more about the UNC thing about how they're already like they moved in for like a week or two, and then they all got like sent home.
Yeah, and Notre Dame today went all remote too. Notre Dame had 2 cases.
I know we're moving in in a week and a half, Ben. Boy, if that happens to us, I'm gonna be so heartbroken, buddy.
Yeah,
like don't tease me. Either let me move in and stay in, or move me out. Keep me out.
I'm conflicted. Not in regards to school. Pretty sure Bryce Harper just hit like a home run or something, and I like that. But now the Red Sox are losing 8-4.
Oh my God, they're
Which
so
we knew was
bad.
gonna happen.
Baseball.
Yeah, the Red Sox stink. But let's hit the last thing, and with a team that stunk for a couple games, but they really didn't stink last night. The Bruins. The Bruins were amazing. They won 4-2, 4-3, 4-3, and it really only took like 8 good minutes of hockey, and we just won that game in 8 minutes. And so I was watching the Red Sox game, bad, really boring. Switched the channel to the Bruins. Instantly scored 2 goals. I think I'm like the Bruins' good luck charm, and I probably have to watch every game now.
Yeah, you're gonna watch every game.
Yeah,
the boys turned it.
Maybe only the 4th quarter though, or the 3rd and 4th, because I watched some of the 3rd.
Anyway.
Not quarter. You know what I meant. I'm thinking of basketball.
Period. There's no
period. There's only 3 periods. I know.
Yeah. Listen, the boys started buzzing. I said it at the beginning of the series. I need me some more David Krejci. He had been quiet everybody had been quiet, but he was especially quiet. He turned it on. He's had a point in every game. Tuukka goes home. Nobody really knows what happened. Didn't tell Cassidy, which is an odd thing to do. Said it's a family emergency. Now they're saying it's a kid. Like,
wasn't he also playing golf today?
Yes.
Also, you got to know.
Changed my perspective.
Surprised by oh shit, I'm having a kid. Like you know that in advance.
I really did when he announced it. When he announced it, I really did think there's a deeper family emergency because he went. I mean, you could tell he wasn't completely into it. Like he was just saying like, "Oh, I'm just trying to have fun." Doesn't feel like hockey.
And his comments were bad too. Like you can't say that and then leave.
But his comments about leaving and why he left were very real, or appeared to be like his comments about trying to have fun and stuff. So it made me believe something really is going on. But then the report comes out he's playing golf. So if something's serious with your family and you leave a bubble atmosphere to go out in the open, I feel like he was just bored in the bubble.
I think so too. I mean, look, I heard, you hear different things, but the fact, it's going to be your kid, you might not know the exact day, but you know that, okay, at some point soon, I'm going to have a kid. This is not something that comes out of the blue. So tell your team, tell your coach. Cassidy said he didn't have that conversation with me. He had it with Don Sweeney, the GM. He said, I called Tuukka, left him a voice message. That means he called Tuukka, who didn't pick up. Tuukka texted him back, said everything was all good. So if everything's all good, what kind of emergency fixes itself that fast? And that was within 24 hours of him leaving. He left 2 hours before the game. He kept saying it didn't feel like hockey. He said earlier that the games didn't matter. Just give me all the Yaroslav Halak. He's going to stand on his head. He knows this is his best chance at a cup, and he might take the Bruins to one. He just might do it.
I hope so. I mean,
hope so,
again, I pretty much would reiterate everything that you guys said about Tuukka. I hope the Bruins can make a run at the Stanley Cup. And Ben, if you truly are like a good luck charm, when we get back to campus, like I'm gonna have to throw a little money around and have you like sitting next to me watching the game because I'm in a little bit of a hole right now and I could use the Bruins to get out of it for sure.
I don't know if betting might make it, turn it off.
Is it just a pure love of the game thing that makes the luck work?
What I think it is, honestly, is the pure hate of how unwatchable the Red Sox are. So then I'm just so excited to watch something. I think the Bruins like feed off that energy and are like, oh, we got another Red Sox fan on our side.
They were buzzing last night, man. That hit. Robbie, did you watch the game?
The Bruins?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Benny, did you see the hit that they had on Stahl? Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, he sent him into next week. Unbelievable. And that's what jump-started it. After that, then we went on the little run. Their captain throws the stick down the hallway and goes off the ice because he's –
Also, they play dirty water when they win, and that's what the Red Sox do. And so I like that.
Brings back good memories, huh?
Brings back memories of being at Fenway.
It's a good point about the Red Sox winning.
And their goal song, Zombie Nation song, that, is sick. So,
so what's the name of it?
I don't know. Apocalypse? I don't know. But the Bruins are great. Charlie McAvoy is like, dude, come on.
I have to be a little anti-Charlie McAvoy just because he's a BU guy, but he's nasty.
So
and
what,
he lit that guy up.
So what?
Don't so what, me.
So what? He's in the NHL now. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, who cares? It doesn't.
Blood's thicker than water, Benny. I don't want them to have any feathers in their cap over there.
I don't think that it matters where a hockey player goes to college.
Except for the dudes that come from PC.
Yeah, because they're absolute ballers, and those kids, I like those kids.
They were in my economics class, so.
Yeah. Wait, Ben, who was my favorite player? Oh, Dugan.
Oh,
Jack Dugan.
Dugan was my guy.
Oh, he was the man.
Jack Dugan was in my class.
He's pretty good.
Was he?
Yeah, Robbie. Wait, was it our other roommate? Did Scott take notes for one of the players?
Yeah. Well,
I feel like that's got to be the other way around. That's got to be the other way around.
What?
You gotta be giving the hockey players notes. Not
no, that's not. No, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what he was doing.
He was doing that. Yeah, he showed up. He was like, "Hey, kid, notes." And he was like, "Okay."
Yes, sir.
You got it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? But good luck.
But no,
I mean,
wait, revisiting something we say every show. There's nothing better than playoff hockey.
There is nothing better than playoff hockey.
Playoff basketball, but yeah, besides from basketball, yeah.
For the World Series.
No, feed me the hockey over. Give me hockey playoffs over NBA playoffs any day, even in a bubble.
NBA playoffs are 100 times better than NBA regular season, though.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, but you can say that for every sport.
No, because you don't have superstars just being like, "Oh, I don't feel like playing today. Oh, I need a rest day in other sports."
Yeah.
I'd say the one sport that elevates the most from regular season to postseason is the MLB.
That's because that's the postseason, just the only one you watch.
No, I'm just saying. Well, I mean, even the TV graphics get elevated for the postseason. There's little orange leaves in the graphics. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's October.
That's a good point about the leaves. They do
the leaves. I'll give you.
And
that.
look, I know it's baseball season when on or not baseball season, the baseball postseason on a Sunday night or whatever. I could throw on Fox. When the game is on Fox on a late a
little Joe Buck action, little Joe Buck late at night. Oh yeah,
mm-hmm. Man knows.
I think it might have been I think it was starting 9. Karaba's probably a great point. With hockey, the first couple of rounds you get your home broadcasters, and it makes the game like that more much fun. Because like they know the team.
I'm torn. I love my home broadcasters, especially for baseball. But when you throw on that national broadcast and you hear Joe Buck calling a baseball game, or you turn on a basketball game and all of a sudden you hear Jim Nantz calling in March Madness game, like, oh, it just got real.
Oh, well,
Nothing like Jim Nantz.
All right, wait. I think we can end the show all agreeing on one note. If we had to pick any tournament or playoff type thing to be the most exciting, the most watchable all the time, every single game of it, I think we're all picking March Madness.
The first weekend, yeah.
I can go all the way with it.
I'll watch every game.
Me too.
Well, I'll watch every game too, but especially that first weekend, especially.
Yeah, I agree. Let's just leave the show with the thought of the happiness that we get that first weekend of March Madness.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight.
Yeah, love that. Well, yeah, I think that's all we got. We pretty great long show for you guys. So if you watched the whole time, thanks. Really appreciate it. I think it was a great show. You guys did great. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.